Yes, people, welcome back to Thai Sports Talks. Make sure you smash a like, make sure you subscribe. But the big transfer news today is Mathys Tel has reportedly agreed a £15 million move to Tottenham Hotspur. This is not over the line yet, but a deal has reportedly been agreed, reported by Julien Laurens, the reliable French journalist for ESPN. And it's that the deal has been agreed. Now it's up to Mathys Tel to decide if he wants to go to Tottenham. And this will be massive. This will be massive for them because the form they're in right now, the season they're having, it's a proper disappointment. Ange's under pressure. Solanke's out for 4 to 6 weeks now. Richarlison just come back. They're not really scoring a lot of goals. They're not, winning games. They need someone through the door. They need some fresh energy. They need some impetus. And the fact that they're now going out and spending 50 million on a Bayern Munich youngster shows that Spurs know they need to go and get a signing in. So this is proper interesting. There's still a few days left in the window. This deal is not done yet, but they have agreed with Bayern Munich. Now it's up to Mathys Tel. What do you want to do? Guys, make sure you like and subscribe. What would you do? What would you do? This is the thing. Like, you're looking at him in this situation right now, 19 years of age, playing a very big part of Bayern Munich, wants first team football, wants to probably try and get into that France squad for the next World Cup. A lot of players are probably looking like that in their futures right now with that in mind. Would you go to Spurs? Or would you hold out, wait for a Man United? Would you wait for an Arsenal? Would you wait potentially for a Chelsea to come in with a late move? Like, it's a proper interesting one because the thing is about Spurs, and I respect Spurs for going for this because I've got it up here. Tottenham agree 60 million fee in euros with Mathys Tel. And it's Julian who runs with the article. Tottenham have had a 62.5 million euros, dollars, and then 60 million euros offer accepted by Bayern Munich on Thursday for the French forward. Sources have told ESPN. Tel 19 has decided to leave the German side and is attracting a lot of interest from English clubs, which obviously includes Man United and Chelsea. Bayern wanted 60 million for the France under-21 international. Spurs have become the first team to agree a deal. So it doesn't mean that he's definitely going to Tottenham, but if they've put up the money, they've agreed to pay what Bayern want, and it's now up to the player. And if you're Spurs, you want a player that wants to come. You don't want to be agreeing a deal and then the player's indecisive because he might be waiting for a Man United. He might be waiting for a Chelsea. What does that say about your football club? Do you want a player that was and ahhing? Probably not. You want players that want to come to your club. You want players that want to make a difference. Players that see a first-team opportunity, want to make an impact. If a player's and ahhing because they're waiting for an offer from elsewhere, then I don't know if that's the mentality you want to be going with. It says here, ESPN sources added, however, that the player has not yet chosen to join the club. Personal terms have not been reached, although if Tel decides to join Ange Postecoglou's side, it is understood that a contract could be agreed pretty quickly. So there you go, people. It's simple as that. Tottenham have agreed a fee with Bayern Munich, but now it's up to the player. Does he want Spurs? What's the perks about going to Spurs right now? Well, it's not the league position. Let's be honest. But the perks are obviously a great stadium, a good fan base, London city living. A lot of players like to live around the London area. But ultimately, is he going to play games? Is he going to be a starter? Yeah. Right now, yes. Right now, he's going into Spurs and he walks into that starting lineup. Whether it's as a number 9, whether it's off the left, he plays, and him and Son can, bounce off each other effectively. Because the thing is about Mathys Tel, the things I like about his game is I think he's very much a sharpshooter. I look at Mason Greenwood in that same sort of bracket, and when I say sharpshooter, I mean that they're unpredictable when they shoot. They don't need a lot of how players take a few touches, get it out, know they're going to shoot. They're the type of players that can just shoot out of nowhere, catch the keeper off guard, and surprise them a little bit. And I like that unpredictability in a player because Mason Greenwood could do it as well. They're just sharpshooters. All of a sudden, right foot, left foot, they're just shooting. And he has had some good finishes for Bayern Munich. I'm not going to say that he scored a lot of goals for them because he hasn't. I look at his Bundesliga record, not scored a Bundesliga goal this season, but last year, 7 in 30, 5 in 22 the year before. So he's not prolific, but of course he's coming off the bench a lot. He's not starting a lot of games. He's 19. He's still developing. He's still pretty much raw in the men's senior game. So I'm not saying it's a risk, but you're taking a punt on a youngster and hoping that it can make an instant impact for that money when you're paying £50 million. But Tel would get opportunities at Spurs. Timo Werner's not working out. He's not great. James Maddison's a bit out of favour with Ange. You've got Kulusevski, who's locked in on the right-hand side. You've got Heung-min Son locked in more on the left-hand side. You might play a 4-3-3, so it might be Benton, Kursar, and Basuma. You might play Maddison in the 10. You could play Kulusevski in the 10 and play Brennan Johnson out wide on the right. At the moment, the number 9 position is vacant because Dominic Solanke's injured. And Solanke is a starter when he comes back. But Tel's got an opportunity to say, right, I want to make a claim to say I can play in the number 9. I can rotate with Solanke, come off the bench. Heung-min Son's getting older. Heung-min Son is not the same player he was 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. We know that he's lost a bit of that pace. He's lost a bit of that injection. So if I'm honest, he's on the decline. He'll probably go after next year. He'll probably play one more season at Spurs. So there's an opportunity for Tel to compete with Son and make that left wing spot here. So when I look at it, Tel's in that position right now where he can play on the left, he can play up front, he can then rotate and come off the bench. He gives Spurs a definite option that I think they're missing right now. They're lacking something. They're lacking something in that attack. They need signings. They need reinforcements. And he's at the right age right now, and he's at the right moment to say, look, I want to come and, make an impact in the Premier League. He's hungry right now. Tel's made no hiding about it that his desire is to leave Bayern Munich. It's just whether he decides to go to Tottenham Hotspur and that, because there is options there for him to play. He will start straight away. He's at a team that are low on confidence. They need fresh impetus. The fans would want him. And it probably, for Daniel Levy and the board, probably gets a bit of pressure off their back because they've brought in a keeper and they've brought in Tel. So it shows that they're spending a bit of money. Not money that, in the back end that I know the fans want. They want more than that. But it just goes to show that, okay, we can beat Arsenal, we can beat Chelsea, we can beat Manchester United potentially to a signing of a young, exciting talent. Because that's what he is. He's a young, exciting talent. He's not proven yet. But, there is ability there. And it's whether he can now kick on into his early 20s, 20, 21, 22, and go into that next phase of his career. And that is going to be interesting. What do you do with your Mathys Tel? Do you look at it now and say, look, Tottenham have agreed a deal, I want to go there and play, or do I hold out and wait for a Man United who are looking at getting rid of Garnacho, looking at getting rid of Rashford, one of them potentially by the end of the window? You've got Nkunku, who's very unsettled at Chelsea, but nothing's been agreed yet. Could he go to Bayern and Chelsea just come up with a swap deal? There's the thing is with Mathys Tel is that the Bayern Munich president or chairman has come out and said, I've never seen so many teams interested in a player. That gives Tel a bit of time to decide. There's still 3 days left in the window. Don't bite the bullet and just go straight for Tottenham. Maybe wait and see if you want to go to a Manchester United, who are a bigger club, but in a bad situation, but there's room there for you to play again in that 10, maybe the left 10. Chelsea, Nicholas Jackson not quite hitting it off, but he will play and get opportunities to come in for Jackson, maybe start sometimes and maybe play off the left because Sancho's up and down with form. Pedro Neto the same. So he's in the same situation at Chelsea where he could start up front in some games and he could start on the left. Man United left 10. I don't know if he wants to play in the left 10. I don't know if that suits him more out of Chelsea and Spurs. I think Spurs and Chelsea formation-wise probably suit Tel a bit more. So it is going to be a very, very interesting end to this saga. It's like how much can Spurs push out that project to Tel with the position they're in the league? But then you've got Chelsea and Man United sniffing, who are bigger clubs, probably have bigger, sell in terms of to tell, like, this is what we do, the history and so forth. It's a big moment in his career because if he is to move permanently, you want it to be at the right club at this age. We've seen it where João Felix, a perfect example, left Benfica, went to Atletico, didn't quite work, went to Barcelona, didn't quite work, then Chelsea. He's 25 now. And he's still trying to find that right club. So when you are at this age, it is a big, big move because you want to make sure it's the right club. So let's see what happens. 3 days left of the window. Mathys Tel to Spurs is the latest link. A deal has been agreed with Bayern, but where will he go? What will he choose to do? Let me know in the comments, guys, where you think Tel should go and is it the right move if he chooses Spurs? I hope you've enjoyed this content. I'm very intrigued to see what happens in the latest days of the transfer window. And guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you do. Big up.